Hi everyone, I am here with a review from our third bass lesson. This week we started using our left hand to put fingers down on the strings and create some new notes. For the violins and violas and cellos, they learned 3 new notes, but for bass we actually only learned 2. One of them we already knew ahead of time. So let's just go over what those are and the position for our hand, and then we'll take a look at our homework. So when you're using your left hand, your thumb is going to be resting right back here on the neck, and you should have a sticker showing you where to put your thumb. If you start to get in the habit of having it wrap around like this or go up like that, you're going to come into a lot of problems later. So in order to have the strength in our hands that we need and to have everything positioned correctly, you really want to keep it right in the middle like this. And when we start putting fingers down, you're going to find that your thumb kind of aligns with your second and third finger. It's not so far back that it's with your first finger, and it's not so far forward that it's aligned with your pinky. So your hand is going to kind of have this C shape. If I turn it sideways, you can see what I mean by a C shape, kind of like you're holding onto a water bottle or something like that. So I'm going to put my thumb back here. On your bass, we're working on the D string. There should be a sticker for your first finger somewhere around here. I don't have stickers on mine, but if you press really hard with your index finger in that spot, that's going to give you the note called E. And then there should be another sticker a little ways up for your 4 fingers. Of course, when you put your 4th finger down, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to give you some extra help pushing down that string. And that's going to give you the note F sharp. So we have our D, E is 1 finger, and then the 4 fingers is F sharp. The third note that the violins and violas and cellos learned is the note G, and of course we just have an open G string. So when they have to play G and when you are asked to play G, there's no fingers needed. It's just the open string. So let's take a look first at up here in our little what's new box. This is on page 6 in the lesson book. It shows you the 3 new notes. So G, F sharp, and E fingered with 0, 4, and 1. And it also shows you where they're located on the staff. So part of this is not just being able to play the notes, but also being able to read the notes too. So we already know about G up there in the top space. F sharp is just 1 notch lower, and it has, sometimes we'll have that sharp sign next to it. Sometimes it'll be in something called the key signature, which we will talk about later. But for now, we're always playing F sharps with 4 fingers. And then down in this third space is E, which was the 1 finger note. So our homework for this week is 10, 11, and 12. We actually don't really need to go over 10 because 10 is just open strings. You actually had some homework like this last week where you just had to read the open string notes. So there isn't anything new about 10 for basses this week, which is actually kind of a nice thing. You only have 2 really to work on, 11 and 12. So if we take a look at 11, we'll see it's called F sharp and D tune. That tells me because as I told the students, these are all the same piece, just with a different fingered note. So this tells me we're only playing F sharp and D. So F sharp is that 4-finger note. Now, I did forget to mention this earlier. If you're not pressing hard enough, you're not going to get the pitch that you're looking for. So if it sounds like this, and there isn't really a sound coming out, that means you really have to push a little bit harder. Now, on the bass, you need to do all that you can to get enough strength from your hand. So that means that, like I said, your thumb's in the back where it belongs. You're really using all of your fingers to push, and you're not resting your arm against the bass. You really want to have your arm up, give you a little bit of leverage to get a nice tone there. So. And your hand should be kind of spread out like this. If your fingers start to smush together like this, you're going to be in rough shape when you try to switch notes. So hands spread out like this, okay, pushing nice and hard is how we're going to get that F sharp note. But let's go through first with number 11 and read our notes. For right now, I'm not going to say F sharp every time. I'm just going to call it F, but know that they are all F sharps. So we're going to go through and read our note names for 11 right now. Here we go. F, 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 rest, F, rest, D, 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 rest, F, rest, F, 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 rest, D, rest, D, 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 F, 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 rest. Good. Now, Of course, when we play this, if we're playing an F sharp, we're going to have our 4 fingers down. To create the D, we need to take them off, but we're going to be careful not to just fly our hand off like that. If you just hover your fingers over where they were when they were pressed down on the string, that's going to make it a lot easier to press back down. So here's my F sharp, and then I'll just turn it sideways so you can see. When I take my fingers off for the D, I'm just going to hover them over just like that. So let's play number 11. Here we go. F, 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 rest, F, and D, 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 F, 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 D, 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 F, F, F. Excellent, nice job. Then we're looking at number 12, the E and D tune, and as you can see in comparing them, they are very, very similar. The one difference that number 12 has is they put a sneaky A string down here. So as you're playing along and you get to this note, we already have learned that note. That's our low A string down here. So you're going to have an E and then an A. Let me play through number 12. Before I do that, you can pause the video and read through your notes, but I'll play through number 12 so that you can hear what it should sound like. So I got my E with one finger. Here I go. E, 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 D, 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 E, 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 E. Here's the A, D, 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 E, E, D. Good, so those are the 3 to focus on for homework. If you're feeling very ambitious and would like to try 13, that's another one that you can look through using all the same 4 notes. So happy practicing with this lesson material, and I'll see you at your next lesson.